Because with my process,
Yeah.
I find that if I've got like the vision for it or the story, it comes together really quickly. With me, there's an attention span thing too. If I'm sitting on an idea for too long, I get bored and I don't execute it.
Oh my god, yes.
I like to think there's a symbiotic relationship between audience and performer. Because the audience gets something out of it in that they get to be a part of the story, they get to be entertained and engaged. I like to think the audience is as important as myself on the stage. That's why I think I'm a vessel. I'm just the interconnected thing between, I don't know, soul, if you believe in that, and audience. The way I remember it, it was a real turning point in my life. I just finished a course that was about authenticity and about being yourself and sharing that with the people around you, the friends and family. A fear of being myself and letting that out into the world and trusting that the people around you will accept who you really are.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, I'm Rory, I'm a musician. If you know me, you probably already know that, but today we're not here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Just Gus.
Hello!
So this is the second episode of Living Room Jams. If you haven't checked out the first one, it was with my friend Rowan, the Walking Busker. I'd go and check that one out. I'm out of focus, but don't worry about that. He's in focus. So Living Room Jams is all about taking original creative musicians and giving them a space to share the story behind their music, how they write, and because their music is sharing their soul. So the idea is to give them the platform to explain the story behind it and then perform one of their songs for you. I find it's the best way to relate and connect to artists. And the first one was actually filmed the day after my mum's funeral. And she was a caring and nurturing person. My skill set wouldn't be where it is without her just believing in me. She's not musical herself, but she believed in me. And I want to pass on her legacy to other musicians around me. So let's get into the second ever episode of Living Room Jams with Just Gus.
Yay!
Let's go!
Let's go!
Pew! Okay, so first of all, how are you, bud?
Man, to be honest, I don't know if I've breathed in the past like 2 weeks. Like, this might be, can we just...
Yep.
Feels good to breathe. I keep myself very busy. My calendar is always full. So, you asking me how I am? I haven't processed that question like in a long time. I guess up and down, but always busy and always staying creative. Finding ways to stay creative.
I mean, creative and promoting is a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
I understand that being busy. I mean, we've literally just sat down after a mental setup panic. So
yeah. You were going crazy. I was just sitting here playing the guitar. So
yeah, but I needed that to set up. So you're good.
True.
Cool. Well, I'm glad that you're busy and you're being creative with your busy. That's great. A moment to think about how you are would probably be pretty good. Maybe after this podcast, before you go.
This podcast could be good for me to process.
Yeah, to be fair,
a
maybe
little
it will be.
reflection, you know.
Right. I quite often find the music itself is. Have you had time to write in this creative period?
Good question. I haven't really been writing too much lately. I've been
Writing's-
recording a lot though.
Oh, right,
so
yeah, cool.
it's like I've been.
Oh, it's
taking,
that
like,
stage of the process. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Writing can help me process. Writing can be like self-therapy for me. Sometimes I don't know how I feel until I try and write a song, and then I'm like, oh, that's how I feel.
Yeah,
wow. Should have probably done something about this earlier. Or, oh, that's cool. I'm in a good place right now.
I tend to wait until I've got a story to tell. Like if something drastic happens in my life or something, you know, cool happens.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, you know, that's the story. That's the point that I'm trying to make, and then I base it all around that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So rather than using it as a reflective process that's like, you know, how I'm going, how I'm traveling, then writing about it, I'm like, big moment happens, yo, I've got to write about that.
Oh, sick. Okay,
Yeah.
so your writing process is very directed when you start.
Yeah.
Cool. I quite often will pick up my guitar most days and just noodle, fiddle, improvise, mess around. And almost every song of mine will start with, I'm looking out the window, seeing the birds fly by. Because the first thing I'm doing is just singing about what I see to get me in the flow of doing things.
Interesting, yeah.
And then eventually some lyrics will hit, or the style of the music will change to the mood I'm in. And it kind of develops from that sometimes.
Yeah.
Other times it is like living my best life. I was like, I just picked up the guitar, played those couple of little chords with that riff at the beginning, was like, hell yeah, I've got this. And I wrote that song in 20 minutes, the whole song.
Yeah.
I was like, this is mad.
Because with my process, I
Yeah.
find that if I've got like the vision for it or the story, it comes together really quickly.
Yeah.
Because I'm direct and I'm intentional, and it's like I know exactly what I'm in for. Like, I know exactly the mood that I'm saying, the story that I'm telling, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, well, interestingly as well, I was just saying about my own music, you've just said about yours. Another shout out to the first episode with Rowan. He mentioned in his that all of his bangers, his best tracks, were written there and then.
Yeah.
So I think that might be... I'll be interesting as I interview more people to see if that is like a... You know what, if you've not got your song in your first day, why are you still writing it? Start again.
Yeah, interesting.
Because maybe that's how all the good tracks happen. A lot of Ed Sheeran's tracks as well are written very quickly in that process. So,
with me, there's an attention span thing too. If I'm sitting on an idea for too long, I get bored and I don't execute it.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
100%. 100% understand that. Cool. Right, so let's jump into the first official question of the podcast.
Okay.
Right, so in business terms, there's a thing called an elevator pitch. You have around a minute to tell me who you are. What you do, who you are, how it works.
Yeah.
I know that's a very short window for somebody as creative as yourself.
Yeah.
Who is Just Gus?
Just Gus is a vessel for storytelling and for energy. Just Gus is a performer. Just Gus is... I like to think there's a symbiotic relationship between audience and performer. Because the audience gets something out of it in that they get to be a part of the story. They get to be entertained and engaged. I like to think the audience is as important as myself on the stage. And then there's something that I get out of it, being the center of attention. I freaking love that. I love being the center of attention. And yeah, I get to share my stories and my energy, which just makes me feel complete.
Yeah.
Because nothing else matters when I'm up there, but just letting it flow. That's why I think I'm a vessel. I'm just the interconnected thing between, I don't know, soul, if you believe in that, and... audience.
Okay.
There you go. Done.
Perfect.
Boom. Mic drop.
Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, cool. So it's all about that connectivity with the audience and allowing, like I said, the vessel, the connectivity, the interaction, and I think the idea that it's about that vessel connectivity, that sharing the form of creativity that you've got. That's led you to doing Just Play and things like that. That we'll go over more in a minute. I think that really helps explain how that all ties into you as an artist and you as a creative business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I like that.
Did I do good?
You did good. You did good.
Yeah. Nice.
To be fair, the hardest thing about an elevator pitch when you haven't had much time to process or think about it is to keep it into a minute. Because you naturally want to go into a lot more detail and waffle.
Oh, I'd love to waffle.
Right? Exactly. Or is you keep it to a minute and you realise that you haven't explained who you are at all in that time. Right?
Yep.
So, you did well. You did well.
Thank you.
You nailed it. If the reason being, as a guitar teacher, I went to a lot of business mentoring, business networking events, and every business network, you've got an elevator pitch at the beginning. And it really helps you train it and nurture it for what you're doing. And you'll have different ones for different places. Like when I'm marketing myself as a musician or a guitar teacher, they're still both me, but they are different fields. So we've got your elevator pitch.
Yep.
We've got the creative fields. Like I say, we'll go into a bit more of the things you're doing that aren't your music. Even I don't know, as one of your good friends, how many songs have you got out there in the world already?
The only songs I've got out in the world are songs that I wrote when I was in high school.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and there are songs you can find if you search my name.
Hell yeah.
Don't expect good quality.
Are they still under Just Gus, or being that old?
They're under my real name, my full
name.
name. Yeah. Don't expect anything amazing.
Oh, mate. I found a CD of my first single with my first band that we thought we were metal, and it's like proper emo pop punk, not metal at all.
Oh, that sounds good.
But it's also me singing like, oh, yeah. It is the most horrendous thing. Like, you know how Ed Sheeran shows that video of him like singing's not natural. This is how I used to sound. He shared that, and I heard that and was like, you know what? Even back then, you sounded better than I sounded back then. Like, it is so bad. I actually brought it. I found a CD of it when I was in England, and I brought it back here with me, and then realised I don't have a CD player. But I do have a CD of me singing terribly bad.
Oh my god.
It's released somewhere. I just don't know where, apart from on CD. Oh. So the question is, what track have you chosen? And without too much detail, as you know the questions coming up about it, why this track?
Okay, what track and why? I've chosen the first song I wrote on this project, which is called Vulnerable.
Cool.
You wanted a song that had deep meaning,
yeah.
right? So I thought, I'm not going to play my first single from the EP, which is called You Can't Park There.
Yeah.
I'm going to play Vulnerable.
Can't Park There.
Yeah. Can't Park
It's a good track.
So Vulnerable, why have I chosen this song? It's because of its deep meaning that we can get into. It's about authenticity.
Yeah, nice.
A fear of being myself and letting that out into the world and trusting that the people around you will accept who you really are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand that. I think all creative people understand it to some level, because there's that battle between sharing the authentic you and being an entertainer and knowing what level is the right balance between those two.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm interested to get into the interview and find out more about it.
Absolutely.
So
what do you want to know?
First thing, I guess, is we're going to listen to the track pretty soon.
Yeah.
But before we listen to it, I want that all-round story, so again, the audience can connect to it, and so can I. I've heard this song before once or twice, but it would be really nice to hear it with some fresh ears with all the context. So the first question is, what emotional state were you in at the point you were writing this track? Like, what was going on through in your mind and your heart, spirit, however you want to embody the emotion? Where were you when you were writing this itself?
It was, the way I remember it, it was a real turning point in my life. I'd just finished a course that was about authenticity and about being yourself and sharing that with the people around you, the friends and family. And one of the, I suppose, tasks or assignments that they helped you to do, you put into this group of people and you're all held accountable. It's like an accountability group.
Yeah.
One of the things was tell your family something that you've never told them before. Open up, share something.
Okay.
Because we would find that if you share authentically, often people will share authentically with you.
Yes.
So it's this give and take thing. So the state that I was in when I wrote Vulnerable, I was terrified. It was right before I made a phone call to my dad.
Yeah.
To tell him I was bi.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Oh, okay, right. So coming from a real,
I was scared to be disowned. I was scared that I don't know, he would be angry or not accept me or,
Are they more an old school, traditional, or did you not really know?
I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but there was that fear that it wasn't going to be accepted.
It wasn't fear with a direct context, just the irrational fear that's natural to have, but still irrational, if that makes sense. Okay.
It was it's your family. It was very real.
If your family, even if they don't disown you, if they don't like your choices in that field, it can feel we're still a tribal.
Yeah, we are so our community, and family is like the closest thing you've got.
Yeah,
right? Like it's, and for me, like I was always
even
really
just feeling like an
family.
outsider, even if you're not disowned, feeling like an outsider can be dangerous enough. Yeah. Especially when you're already a creative person, which tends to make us more emotional, more about connection. If the connection feels broken, it can be scary. So, okay, cool. That's a vulnerable state. Hence,
it is, and
a song called Vulnerable.
This chat is scary to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like, I don't want to be known for my sexuality. I don't think it's everything there is about me.
Yes, of course.
It's not something I want to put up on my profile and say, hey, I'm a bisexual artist from Brisbane.
I mean, the really simple thing is, I didn't know this about you until we'd met 4 or 5 times, and it just came up in a passing conversation that was. It really wasn't a waving a rainbow flag, or there was nothing there that was just like, this is part of my identity, which is, I think, is an important thing. Like, it's like, I'm hetero, but I don't walk around being like, exactly. I'm a straight white man, right? Because that's so what. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. Like, I think that there's morals that people can cross that do matter, and there's that there's things that don't matter. And to me, your sexual preference, as long as everybody is legally in agreement of whatever's happening, right? Then it's whatever it is, Like, I'm not a judgy person on any of that stuff at all. I just myself. I've been very open with myself as well. I've questioned, like, am I? Because I can build a real emotional connection to another man. I've been like, am I bi? And then I've gone, no. Like, sexually, I'm not interested in a male physique at all. But I can connect to another person, no matter what body they're in, on a way that I'm like, you know what? Like, emotionally, I'm connected to you in a way that could even be relationship vibe. But if there's no sexual preference, then I guess I'm not bi or anything, you know what I mean?
The interesting thing about after the coming out thing, and after my parents both accepting me and being really supportive and saying, if you're happy, we're happy, you know, it really worked. I have accepted myself as a result of that. And the person you see performing now is a direct reflection of that being comfortable in my own skin. Of going, I accept who I am. Yeah. I'm proud of who I am. So, this is who I am. I don't need to hide anymore.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's it. When I first performed, there's definitely songs out there that are very emotional to me, and the first time I performed them, like, I don't need a positive feedback, but I need to not have a negative one. So I still definitely depend on an audience reaction when I first perform a song.
Yeah.
But some of them are very, very open. They're very vulnerable themselves. Okay, cool. So we've got the emotional thing. Yep. Like I said, we've spoken about sexuality. You said you don't want that to be a big part of your brand, so we'll move on from it, because we've gone into a long conversation.
Right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
If we're talking authenticity, it's a part of me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier that you've told me what emotional state you were in, where you were. You were feeling terrified and vulnerable itself. How did you go about it? Did you find lyrics first, music first, the two together?
Yeah, it was the two together. It's a simple song. It's chords and lyrics, really, and that's how I write all my songs. When it comes to guitar, I'm not technically trained. I know all the chords and I can sing. Yeah. So that's how my songs are written to begin with. As far as the writing process, I don't really remember. Yeah. I was in a state.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I was, and I don't know how long it took me to write this. Okay. All I know is that I wrote the majority of this before making that phone call. It was like my coping thing. My it
was music therapy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
It really was.
I swear by, without official music therapy, music is therapy for creative artists. As soon as you write, you're putting your heart into your music, and definitely. Yeah. Okay, so no idea even how long, but I'm guessing if it led to the phone call, it was within a single day, or was that just or draft one would have been day one, or?
It's all so blurry.
Oh, right.
When I look back, it's all blurry.
How long ago was this? Sorry, this roughly.
November 2023, I think, or December 2023.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Okay, so it's like a year and a half old.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
18 months or so. Cool. And this one's recorded but not released?
Yeah,
is that correct?
It's coming out in my EP. I don't think I've put this anywhere. So, Just Gus is releasing a 6-track EP called I'm Having a Great Time.
I remember writing the interesting with you in the studio.
And you're still in, your electric guitar is still in there.
So good. Excellent.
And So Vulnerable will be in this 6-track EP.
Hell yeah.
I don't have a release date, but it's coming out.
It's coming out. Cool. Well, as soon as anything is available, all the links will be in the description for this on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure exactly how all the description stuff works on the Spotify, but I'll try and make sure that there's links to things there. Either way, I'll make the description clear that the links are on YouTube. And if you've got any mail lists or link trees or anything like that, I'll make sure all those links are there as well, so people can be the first to know if they catch this before it's out.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Right, we've gone through all the backstory. Let's get into the track. Let's hear it.
All right.
Let's hear some music.
Woo! Up late, overthinking every word I want to say, every word I'll never say. Can't sleep, world is shrinking, my mind is in dismay. How will I face the day you won't get me? You won't get me. I'm up, but Never really here, always scared to shed a tear. Living in my place of fear, zoned out, forever faded, resigned and jaded. The world that I've created, you don't get me. You don't get me. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable. I'll never let you see through me, it's too vulnerable. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable with you. Vulnerable. I swing, and I always miss, never gonna take a risk, I don't deserve this. Caught out, no conviction, lies upon lies in the world of my fiction. I don't get me. I don't get me. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable. I'll never let you see through me, it's too vulnerable. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable with you. Vulnerable. My fears and doubts, they hold me back. Oh, oh. Walking anxiety attack. Oh, oh. My fears and doubts, they hold me back. Oh, oh. Stay the same and fade to black. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable. I'll never let you see through me, it's too vulnerable. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable with you. Vulnerable, admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable. I'll never let you see through me, it's too vulnerable. I admit it, I'm just scared to be vulnerable with you. Vulnerable with you. Thank you very much. Yay!
Dude, that sounded wicked.
Thank you. I like to think that my songwriting has improved since that one.
Okay.
I remember sending that to a friend of mine, and she was like, there's a lot of words in that. And I'm like, yeah, there are a lot of words in that. So now when I write songs, they're more simple.
Okay.
And I find simple equals catchy, simple equals like memorable and sing along. Look, you could sing along to that one, but I don't feel like it's designed for that.
I think you've got a point in there. I don't know. I think there's both, because there's authenticity comes from putting your heart out there, and sometimes there's a lot to say.
Yeah.
The art of simplifying things to be catchy is great, but at the end of the day, if you think of some of the biggest tracks out there, it depends on who's writing the track.
Yeah.
Right? You could take a umbrella, ella, right? And not to judge. No, I'm judging. If I'm honest, I'm judging. Right? It's catchy, it works, it gets an audience singing along, but there's no depth to it, right? And then you could take other songs where, like, think about any rap artist. How many words are they putting in, right? Yeah. But some rap can be just like bling bling and whatever, but some can be really talking about a deep story.
Yeah.
And I think the number of lyrics and how catchy isn't the be all and end all of a good song. I think that's a great song, and the fact of where it comes from with the story, I think it's brilliant. So you don't have a release date for it yet?
No, not yet. And I like that I've come into the project without that sort of release date expectation. Because if I had have had that, I mean, this is the first time I've properly recorded music.
Yeah.
Like, been in a studio, had a producer, which shout out to Tom, he's a legend, helping me produce. And in this process, it's been over a year that we've been recording.
Okay, right.
Because we only catch up maybe once or twice a month.
Yeah, okay.
Like, for a day. And in that time, I've become a better recording artist.
Yeah.
He's become a better producer. And all of these tracks have become so full and fleshed out.
Yeah.
And in a way, the song's meaning and the song's story has become amplified as a result of all of this time that's gone into it.
Oh, that's sweet.
So when we do release this EP, which
Yeah.
is coming, it is happening,
Hell yeah.
all of these songs are going to sound crazy full.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna- You know, you're going to be able to put on your headphones and really absorb yourself into it. In more than just the lyrics and the chords can.
I remember, I can't remember exactly which track it was now, but I remember you turning around to me and was like, dude, listen to this with the drums in now. And I listened to that drum intro and was like, yeah, that's stepped up a game. Like, that sounded so much better.
Because storytelling is more than just your lyrics, it's more than just your
of
chords,
course.
it's also all of the stuff inside it as well.
Yeah, like if a song is meant to be anthemic, you need it to have that power. And if a song's meant to be heartwarming, like, or emotionally moving, quite often adding things like strings and stuff like that can make a massive difference to how you feel the music.
Yeah.
Like I said, not just lyrics.
Yeah.
Sweet. Right, is there anything else? So the when and where available, we don't know yet.
No,
I mean, I guess
will
the
be
where.
everywhere. It'll be everywhere.
Yeah.
We know that.
So for those that are watching this that are also original artists and things, have you got like a distribution company for your music that you plan to use? Have you got methods for any of the getting it out there in mind yet?
So the getting it out there like digitally is recordings. I'm taking Tom's guidance with that. He's a producer. He's very successful. He's had a lot of songs that have done well streaming wise. As far as what I'm doing right now is I'm performing as much as I can.
Yeah.
I'm hitting a lot of open mics. I run my own open mic as well in Ipswich. So any chance I get to be able to perform in front of people and say, hey, I'm Just Gus.
Yeah.
Like, and get that name out there.
Yeah.
That's how I'm distributing at the moment, considering I don't have anything
You don't have
recorded
anything
yet.
recorded, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. I think, have you got a platform that you're trying to get people onto for people that want to know as soon as it's released? So you're getting your name out there, but are you getting them onto an Instagram, onto a mail list, onto a TikTok? Like, what's your main...
Instagram at the moment is the best place.
Cool. And you said you've got a voice acting one and a musical one.
Yes, so I've got a general one, which is Angus Brennan VO. That's where I post everything that I'm up to.
Yeah,
whether that be like MCing, voiceover, music, trivia hosting, all of that stuff.
Can you explain what MCing is? Because any of our English audience will hear that and think they're talking about rapping.
Yeah, no, I don't rap. That's
Exactly.
one of the things that I don't do.
So that's what I want to check, because MCing really confused me when I first came to Australia, because it has a whole different meaning here.
Yeah.
So what is MC?
MCing, Master of Ceremonies, meaning event hosting. Essentially.
Okay,
That's what we're talking
perfect.
about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Cool, because I still didn't actually know what it stood for.
Yeah.
Right? So Master of Ceremonies.
That's right.
Okay, interesting. Cool. Okay, so I'll make sure links to both of those Instagram accounts are in descriptions of things and everything else. So now we've gone through all of your main music-y things.
Great.
Let's have a quick session to plug other things.
Great.
Now, what I'd like is like a maximum of an elevator pitch for each of the other things you may wish to plug, because I know you've got a few different ventures. If you just want to title them and a like 1 or 2 line description of what they are. So maximum of a minute per thing, right? I know you don't even have a list yourself of what the things are, so you've got to remember them all.
Oh my god, there's so many. Okay, hello. I'm Just Gus, musician, but I'm also Angus Brennan. And Angus Brennan, I found it hard to explain who I am and what I do, but I've come to the realization I'm an entertainer. So what does that mean? I'm a voice actor. I'm a voice coach. I'm a trivia host. I'm an open mic host. I'm a karaoke host. Oh my god, I'm hosting everything. I could host you. I could have you stay on my couch if you want.
So why am I hosting the podcast?
Yeah, well, look. Because you're the podcast host. I'm the podcast guest, yeah. I run a bunch of events, write music, host things. I'm an intelligent goofball, is how I describe myself to people. More than just a goofball. I'm a smart one, too. My brain is always going. What else is there? Just Play Entertainment is my baby at the moment. It's what I'm nurturing and what I'm spending most of my time in, which is Just Play Open Mic and Just Play Karaoke. So I run an open mic in Ipswich, and we also host a karaoke show, looking to branch out, and there are 2 other team members with me on that business venture, where I can't say too much about what we've got in the works, but it's exciting. It's going to be big.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've been along to a couple of your open mics, your Just Play open mics. I really enjoy the vibe of it. Like, you've got a very everybody is welcome. It really is about giving people a platform to share their creativity on, which I love. I haven't been to many open mics, but I have been to some that have the there's almost like a bar to entry on some of them. You know, anyone can sign the board, but there's a feeling there that if you're new to the stage, you feel a little uncomfortable, whereas yours is very welcoming to everyone, which I like.
That's great.
So are most open mics, don't get me wrong, I think most open mics are very welcoming to people, but yours has got a very much like supportive of everybody vibe.
And I think
really
venue
like.
helps with that as well. The spot that you're in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There are certain venues that might feel a little more pretentious than others, and we're lucky that our venue is really open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's going to be a part of it too. I really like the concept where you've got like reward cards, and once they've been to 10, they get a free T-shirt that's Just Play and all those other things. So I think they're great concepts. I really like it. Just for clarity, that's Ipswich in Queensland, so Brisbane area, the greater Brisbane area. In Australia, because I don't know how wide the audience will be, so it's worth definitely confirming that. Obviously, the great thing about music is it is global, it's all international, especially once released on streaming sites. Open mic's a little bit harder to show up. Indeed, you can't really Zoom or Skype into.
No, we haven't figured that one
out. Into an open mic. Maybe it's doable, but I think we need like everyone to have like fibre optic internet speeds and a big like display screen or something. And then the latency issues between the visual and audio. Yeah. Anyway, going too far. Perfect, dude. I think we've got everything. Your socials will be down below. Your song sounds amazing. I'm really excited to hear it come out.
Thank you for having me, Rory.
I still haven't heard it fully mixed. You're more than welcome, dude. And once we're a bit further in and the song's out there, I'm sure we'll be able to get you back on to do something else. Be wicked.
Thank you. Thanks for watching. Yo, thanks.